been a while since I've filmed anything, to tell you the truth. There's a bit been going on. So today, we're not only just working on one vehicle, it's probably going to be multiple. But we'll have a yarn after the intro, seeing as I haven't done a proper intro to a video in a while. Anyway, catch you after the intro. We're going to put some Daihatsu back in the Daihatsu. Rightio, lots been happening. We've got a lot of stuff to do and not a whole lot of time to do it, so I'm going to quit with the pleasantries and we're just going to get right into it. So today we're doing a bit of work on the F10. So I can get it out and I can get the Fairlane back under here, because the Fairlane is booked in to be a wedding car at two of my mates. Well, they're marrying each other. My mate's wedding, I guess, coming up at on the 30th of September, and it's like what, the fucking 10th now. With everything that's been going on, I didn't have time to get a pink slip on the Fairlane, so it now requires a blue slip. So there's a whole bunch of little things I've been ignoring that now I have to fix. So first things first is to get the F10 out from underneath here and clean the concrete. I've been battling this ATF pan leak for fucking ever, and no matter what I do, it still leaks oil. The good thing about the concrete out here is it's sealed, so it doesn't actually stain the concrete, so that's pretty cool. Next thing I'm going to try now is nipping it up again and seeing, but if not, I did buy a roll of super thick cork gasket, and I'll make my own gasket, but we'll deal with that in a second. What I'm going to do now is fit the shock absorbers. These are actually the original shock absorbers out of the F10. I don't know if that's coming up in the video. There we go. So you've still got Daihatsu, that's the part number, KYB shock, straight out of Japan. All I did was sandblast and paint them. These old girls, because they're from like, well, these are from 75, they're not nitrogen filled, they're not gas filled, they're just an oil damper. So you can see it's still dampening. So they're good to go. They were just pretty rusty looking, and I didn't want to get pinged when this thing eventually goes for a blue slip with having shitty old shocks in it. So sandblast and paint, and they look good. So we're going to fit them. They're new shock bushes. You can buy them just from White Line. You type in Daihatsu shock bush and they come up and they just pop straight in. So new bushes, climb underneath, fit these, and then climb further underneath and try and nip up that auto pan, because I do not want that leaking on the front drive. We did do a bit of stuff while I've had a video filming hiatus. It's got an official positive cable in it now, routed back in the factory position. I wrapped it the whole way. I got rid of the 100 amp fusible link fuse and went to a 100 amp circuit breaker. This is going to be driven a fair bit. I'm not a big fan of the fusible links and where they've done them and how they've done it. You can't really get fuse wire for them anymore either. It was up to 79 they run that. Pretty much everyone you see is missing the cap cover that tells you it's 100 amp. I've got two cap covers and they're both broken. I've got one in a good car, that's my first car. The rusty one that I took through the rock garden at my mate's place. And that's about it. So because this is going to be driven in theory a fair bit, I just wanted to delete that issue, because I've had problems with it before and it's left me stranded. So left me stranded on my L's, which sucked, I can tell you. So circuit breaker, much better. Yeah, and then I had to put a terminal on the end of the negative. I forgot to do that ages ago, so I've done that. That's all refitted. So it starts off the key now with the battery sitting in it. I've got a battery tray. That's where the battery's going. I've got a battery tray half made in the workshop. This is back in the factory position, but because the Corolla radiator is a little wider, the factory tray, which is what's left of it here, that's the factory tray. That's the factory battery mount. That was like a wind deflector to keep the battery warm, I think. The factory tray doesn't work anymore. So it bolted on like that, and then this portion partially come out into that lower section of the radiator support. But I've got a radiator mount there now. I did make that wind deflector to help push a bit of air in there. I've still got to blast and paint that black because I made it out of scrap we had laying around in the workshop. So yeah, I've got the battery tray partially made. It's been sitting there for 2 weeks now. I haven't had time to get back to it. And then we can officially bolt a battery in this thing. But for now, at least it starts off the key. It's got a battery in it. It charges now too, because I've redone all the wiring here. New charge circuit wire to the alternator, new power. So it's a bit of a weird setup that I had to done. The power for the main harness comes off the power post on the starter motor instead of just sending it straight to the battery, which is beneficial to me because the starter motor's on this side anyway. But I would have preferred to go straight to the battery, but I didn't want to then have to route extra wires and make it messy, so we just went with the factory way. It worked back in 74, 75, so we'll just go with that. I've still got to do route the hoses for the heater box. There's a whole bunch of stuff that this thing still needs, but that's alright. We're not dealing with that now. We're just putting shock absorbers in it, trying to stem an ATF leak to get it out the front so I can do the real meat and potatoes of the job, which is make the Fairlane pass a blue slip again, which it hasn't done in like 4 years. Yep. Fucking hell. Alright, time to jam a shock absorber in this thing. Let's get rid of the hat because it's bugging me already. So, being white line, these are a, what do you call it? Synthetic bush, so they're not a natural rubber. So use the grease that comes with them, because if you use standard axle grease, it melts them. Ask me how I fucking know. At least they still make them, I suppose. Would have been nice if Tough Dog kept making lift kits for them, but you know, I probably should have got a rag, but I definitely didn't, so that's fine. Just smooth that around there a bit. I can't remember what formula grease you're supposed to fucking use, to tell you the truth. It's been a while, but there, yeah, you can't just use a standard oil-based axle grease because it does come apart. Let's put that in there. So there we go. Do I want the KYB pointing? Yeah, it's pointing to the outside, eh? So you can see when the wheel's off it. It looked fully sick. Thorpe said so. There we go. I'll smell a bit more around there, just to stop any squeaks, because you know this thing's gonna be fucking solid as a rock. Can't have any squeaks in a 45, what, actually 75, what's that, 50-year-old car? Yeah, just like that. And then fit a life, just wipe it on your knee, so when you kneel down you put it fucking everywhere. I touched on briefly that there's been a bit going on in life, and I tell you what, it hasn't been fucking a little bit. So, what is it? 21st of July, I lost my mum. I'll say, oh, Dad and my brother lost their mum and fucking wife too, I guess. And I tell you what, it has not fucking slowed down. So, lost her the 21st, funeral's the 26th. So yes, that's not even a week later. Lost her exactly a month before her 60th birthday, unfortunately. And then, so I was up there for a week. We got the word from the hospital that she was pretty bad. So I got that week off work. I basically didn't even ask, I just left. Come back, worked the week up till the funeral. And then, you know, I get a phone call 2 days later from the boss asking how I'm doing and when I'm coming back to work. Even though he said, have as much time as you want. So as much time as you want was 2 days, which was sick. I can't imagine why I've been burnt out and not wanting to work on anything. You don't want to do these up too tight, otherwise they won't fucking work properly. So, you know, other thing is like the wheel on I can't use this fucking ratchet up the top. So, 2 days after we buried my mum, I flew straight back into work. Because unfortunately in my company, I am the only one at the time, or I was the only one at the time that's trained to do what I do. So if I don't do it, it don't get done. So it's pretty much been rip tear bust ever since. This is the first weekend off I've had. Was it last weekend? I went down the coast and sprinkled mum's ashes. It took a month to get her ashes back. Holy, I didn't think it took that long, eh? Like, they're just burning a person. Why did it take a month? Whatever. Went down the coast with a fan beam, sprinkled her ashes. That was pretty rad. Got it all done, picked a nice spot. It was a spot mum and dad were always thinking about retiring to, so dad's retired now and mum's there permanently, so that's the way she fucking rolls. Yeah. I probably should take some time to process it a bit better, but I don't have a lot of time to do that, so you know, you just push that stuff all the way down until it turns into like a stomach ulcer or prostate cancer like fucking everyone else. Did I put them on properly? I don't know. What's that from? Why is there an R clip down here? Yeah, it's been so long since I fucking worked on this thing, I can't remember what the fuck it's done or doing or whatever. What have you. Let's just stick that R clip there in case it's important. It definitely probably isn't, but you never know. I've been wrong twice in my life now. So, fronts are all done now. On to the rears. The actually shocks. The rears are like 2 inches longer than the front, or an inch. The rears are longer, I know that. So there's a different open and close length on them. Look at that resistance. This is going to be like driving a fucking Cadillac down the road. So yeah, let's get this up and away we go. And if these shocks don't work, I've got new shocks sitting there, but I'd prefer to use them on Sarge, because Sarge is probably honestly the closest one to registration. This one still needs a buttload of work. Still toying with the idea whether I send it up to me buddy Wayne at Shembury's Custom Shop to do the exhaust, or if I just want to do it down here. I know Wayne will do a fucking excellent job though. It's time, and I don't have a lot of it. I'm pondering about maybe a job change. Let's try and get a bit more time. I don't know. I've got to let that one marinate a bit more. I've been with the boss 11 years now, so maybe 11's the end. We'll see. But I would like a bit more free time. Seems like all I ever do is put out spot fires. Well, I couldn't even get away from it when we're going down the coast to do mum's ashes. Fucking 2 days off is all I wanted. Everyone's fucking ringing me flat out. Problems with welders. This customer's got an issue with that. Fucking, oh my god. It's like I'm the only one that knows how to fucking fix anything in the company. Fucking joke. Dad's just in the passenger seat fucking laughing at me. Cunt. He's like, oh, that's the way it goes, bud. So, maybe it might be time to move on. They've hired a new bloke after this, I'll say fiasco, even though it's not a fiasco. They knew it was coming. He could probably take over my role. He seems to know what he's doing, or at least he tells me he does. argument with one of the managers there the other day. Begged me to go to one of the other shops because I'm going to be short-handed. They just needed help. I said, okay, when do I get help? Where's my fucking help? Nowhere. He assures me he's going to guarantee me time off, even though he's not my direct supervision. I supervise myself. He's going to guarantee me time off. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I ain't holding my breath, I can tell you. Fucking God, it makes me think of the ex-wife, which pisses me off, but it is a funny story. I took before my wedding back in 2014. Me and the wife planned to take 2 weeks off before the wedding, and then we're going to have 2 weeks off after the honeymoon because we were doing the wedding and then flying immediately to Japan for a month. So I booked all the time in, and red hot urgent job comes into the workshop for the CNC plas. No one knows how to run the CNC plas but me. So I worked up to the day of my wedding, and then the boss said, and I like my boss, he's a good fella, he's got a business to run. The boss goes, oh, your wedding's in the afternoon, isn't it? I said, if you want me to come in the morning of my fucking wedding, I don't think there'll be a rock you can hide under from my wife. She already wants to fucking murder you. So that got me out of that. Then, have a lovely fucking time in Japan. Went to the Daihatsu Museum. It was shut. I'm doing a retrofit. That's a whole other thing. I land in Sydney. I'm still in the airport. I swear this guy's got my phone tracked. Boss rings me. Hey man, how you doing? Oh, good. What's going on? He's like, so when are you coming back to Bathurst? I'm like, well, soonish, because I just landed in Australia. He's like, oh mate, I got this fucking job. Fuck, I got this job. So there ain't been much time off over the last 11 years, other than when I just booked time and leave. When I got the honeymoon, and then we went to King of Hammers for in the States. What was that? 2018, yeah, 2018, because that's when I divorced the ex-wife. I divorced her when I come back. Yeah, I done King of Hammers and then the honeymoon. That's about the only big time off I've fucking had. Which was, 2014 to 2018, so that's 4 years separated. And we're 2023 now, so I'll be due for another month holiday. By them numbers, Jesus, I might have to go and straighten that. I might have to go and straighten the one on this side too, because it's a bit fucked up and it's bugging me now, even though I just bolted it on. But that's fine. You know what they say, mate? We do it right because we do it twice. If it wasn't worth doing, you wouldn't be doing it twice. So I'll go and fucking do that after I goop all this shit up. But you guys don't need to watch that. I'm pretty much just waffling on about fucking bullshit now anyway. I kind of wanna leave just to see the look on their faces, because it seems like I do everything around fucking everywhere. No one knows how to do anything unless I do it, so it'd be pretty funny. And then my boss is a good dude. He's just got a company to run, I suppose. But hopefully with this new bloke, maybe I will get a bit more time off. He can go and fucking do a bit instead of me doing everything. I've still got jobs banked up that I've got to do. Oh God. Ugh. But it's a weekend, so I don't have to fucking do them now. Next week I've got to go to, where is it? West Wyalong and fix a 100-ton press. Blew the ram seals out of it. And the companies that supplied it who was it? Asset Machinery in Victoria. They don't have a service agent out up here, so they're paying us to fix it. So I'm like, right, we'll send us a seal kit. Emphasis on the word kit, because I don't know what's wrong with the ram. All I know is that it's leaking oil. I haven't actually looked at it. So they send a wiper seal and a ram shaft seal. So what happens if the piston seal's gone in it? What happens if the end plate O-ring's gone in it? Which will definitely be gone, because I've got to screw the end plate off. Like, so these fucking bean counters aren't gonna like it when I've got to go to Pertec fucking West Wyland and buy a fucking $15 O-ring and then charge them plus 30% because they pissed me off. When I asked for a seal kit, they said 2 fucking seals. Come on, Jesus fuck. But oh well, whatever. Still rowdy as ever with a man stick in it now. Better shut it off before I press the names on. Fuck loud. Big Rig's back into surgery. Oh yeah, I've got to do an indicator lens. I don't know if someone poked a hole in it or if it just got old. It is pretty old, but randomly got a hole in it now. That's fine. But, yeah. Also done a flash update on the Holly Sniper, so it's relearning again, so it's a little funny at the moment, but the hopefully the new software will handle the bigger cam, or the big cam, a bit better. It'll start to do some weird stuff. Oh, smoke coming out of it. I wonder where that's coming from. Oh, I better shut the gate before housemate's dog gets out. Righto. And all the parts laid out. I'll just grab that from a swap mate, because this one's got a big fucking hole in it because I hit a kangaroo and broke it in half. You can see where I've had to glue it back together. Yep. So the annoying thing is there's 2 pins busted on this, but it was $50 for the entire front end. So I got new headlight buckets, new headlight surrounds and all that bullshit. So yeah, whatever, it's $50, I'll put it in it. But yeah, so we've got rule to fit, rear shocks, because the rear shocks, the Munro air jackers, one of them's leaking oil. This is a speed box, so that is a GPS to cable speedo drive unit, because trying to get the T5 to talk to this cluster in this, I've got to actually pull the T5 apart and replace the worm drive gear on the back of the output shaft. There's 3 types, and I've done some calculations on the calculator that are on the internet, and none of them were going to make it read correctly. So I just went ahead and just bought that because it's always going to read right then, no matter what tyre size is on it. It will also read off a vehicle speed sensor, which the T5 you can put a vehicle speed sensor in it, so I could do that, but I won't. A pair of indicator lenses, you pretty much got to buy them in a pair because that one's got a hole in it. And this one, I don't know. I replaced that when I bought it, but it's got some crazies in it, so I might replace that too and just put it on the shelf. And I grabbed this boot just in case. It's the same bolt pattern as the one I put in it, the one I got from Autobarn. Just in case, I don't know. That one, it was looking a little funny, but I think it's come good. It was sort of going a bit tenty, weird. It was like pulling around the stick and going funny, so I don't know. I think it shrunk up in the sun and it's alright now, but I'll grab that anyway. But here's the list. There's probably more out on it, no doubt more that I've forgotten. And you got here. So, rear shocks, speed box install. When we done the manual, we had to pull the seats out. We broke like every other seat bolt in the front seats because they go through the floor pan. So I think only the driver's seat's actually got all the bolts in. The passenger one's held in by 2. So I'll have to do them for rego. The engine reverse lights, because that's all hooked into the park neutral safety switch, which is what that plug there's for. So that wire there is looped to make the starter motor work. Those 2 there go off the reverse sensor or pickup in the box. Tight engine bay harness. You can see it's a fucking mess because we just sort of jammed the manual in it to make it work. Number plate light, I've got a bulb out. I've had a bulb out for ages. Also got a cracked lens under there, but I've got a replacement whole housing. Got to finish the LED tail lights and fit them. I've been building them for a while. I just haven't had fucking time, so I'm doing whole LED replacement lights. I've cut the backs out of the housings and everything. They're inside. I'll show you later. But these ones have been already made out of like 3 different sets, and you can see the housings are just fuck. Like I've made that out of silicon, and then I hit this with a pressure washer, and that fell out. And yeah, so actually I'll pop the boot. I'll show you the big fault with these. I think it's only ZH Fairlanes as well, but they mount the fucking, like the bulbs are exposed here, so anything that's in your boot, and like I use this for fucking everything. Like there's a ram there I've got to rebuild. Just slides around in the boot and it fucking flogs about and busts the housing on it. But this one's just hanging in there because all the teeth are gone on it. So I'm going to do away with that whole thing, and it's just going to be LED panels in behind the lights pretty much. So yeah, so I've got combo brake indicator and brake reverse, and then I've just got a solid brake for the center pretty much, because if the lens is there it's got to operate. And then you can see this number plate light. I think I dropped like a E-size argon bottle on that, getting it in and out of the boot, and cracked it, and then oh, the lens is actually missing. Okay, maybe that's why that light don't work. The boot light don't work anymore either, because I think the bulb fell out of it and I don't know where that went. The rear speaker wasn't really working, so I disconnected it. Oh, I've also got actually I should put that on the list. During the manual swap, the speaker wiring was wrapped around the steering column, so I just cut it. So I've got to redo the speaker wiring too. And then the speaker wiring going to the rear was just old shit. It didn't really work. It made the speaker sound real funny, so I just cut the fucking wiring. It was like single core. So yeah, I might do something about that. And that's only the beginning of the list. There's some things on there that are like, probably should, but maybe won't do, like, what do we got? I don't really have to fit the grill. The interior light randomly stopped working, and now all it does is blow fuses, so that's wild. What do we got? Definitely have to do sump leak, left-hand indicator lens. Yep, wiper arm bushes, probably don't really need to do them. I have to like pressure wash the underbody, because the whole thing looks like it's been dipped in ATF because it's blown fucking 3 gearboxes. And I'm gonna do it, Jimmy. You keep fucking pestering me, I'm going to penetrol it. I'm going to penetrol the whole fucking car. Because if it's shiny rust, maybe they won't look so much at the holes in the bonnet. Yeah. So, if it's shiny rust, maybe it'll pass the blue. Because I want to do it legit. I don't want to fuck around. I don't want to have issues with it. I just want it to pass. Like everything else is fine on it. Like I've done, actually, I'm going to flush the brakes this time, because I started getting some weird pulsing pedals there for a little while ago, and I never actually flushed the system, so that fucking fluid's like 200,000 k's old. So I'm gonna flush the whole brakes, re-bleed them, go through the whole thing. But like everything is new underneath it. Since the manual, I'll probably have to put a new carpet set in it, because it doesn't really reach over there at the kick panel. Because like the tunnel's higher now, so the tunnel's robbed carpet. And obviously I cut it to suit the tunnel before, so there's no carpet left. I wasn't really happy with that carpet kit anyway, so I'll probably, I don't know, later, I don't know, fuck's sake, I don't know. I don't have a lot of time. I'll probably have to do a front windscreen. This is the one that's always been in it. That chip's on the inside. That was where the rear vision mirror was glued to, and it just, I guess it just broke off. And that stone chip's always been in it as well. It's all full of moisture. That one's probably the big one because it's in your line of sight, so I'll definitely have to do that. But I've got full 360 glass coverage on this with Shannon, so I'll just ring them up and say put a window in it. I'm paying for insurance, I might as well fucking use it. Yeah, so there's a few big ones there that have to happen, and there's some there that maybe, probably. Yeah, and it's the sump, because it's called gasket. The gasket shrunk up, and it's not really dripping oil, it's just sort of the sump's wet. And yeah, so I don't know where I want to start. The speed box is going to take a bit of doing, but that also has to be calibrated too. the speedo. Yeah, but I do have, actually I've got a spare speedo, so I can calibrate the box to the spare speedo and we should be right. Yeah, let's do that. I was going to do the wiper arm bushes before, but I don't know if there's any bolts for this scuttle panel underneath the chrome, or if it just slips up there like that. But yeah, you can just see this. It's always had it. It just bugs me, you know, a lot. The bush kit was like $12, so that's easy peasy. Anyway, I'm thinking about attacking the front of it first. So we'll do the lenses and the grill, and if I don't like how the grill is because it's missing bits, I'll just leave that cunt in there. Yeah. Alright, it's a lot worse than it looks, I swear. Fucking hell, you got to pull these things all apart just to get to the front end. But the lenses are swapped now. Yep, that one's the half decent one. This one's the roller bad one. That one's actually never been out. What's that noise? Whatever. So, yeah, you got to pull the whole front end off of these fucking whores. You're technically supposed to pull that off too, but you're able to sort of wiggle it around to get it off. It's a fucking cunt. And then I had the apprentice come around, and he was down at a swap meet down in Canberra, and he found me a couple of fucking ciggy butt lighters. Ooh, fucking Marlboro Camel. Check this one out. Oh, can I open it? Maybe I can't open it. Oh, I can open it one-handed. See, you push down on the ciggy butts to fucking light it. They don't have any gas in them. But yeah, add that to the collection. So yeah, we'll just talking shit for like the last fucking 2 hours. So today's going to be not much progress. So now I've got to get all that back together. Fuck. Well, look at that. All back together. Got a grill that's got all the teeth in it. Lenses that don't have fucking holes in it anymore. I lined the bumper up a wee bit better so it doesn't have a real big gap. There's I walloped a kangaroo there, and one there too, and then I hit a wombat there, and the bumper bar was sort of a bit cattywampus. So it's she's getting late and cold out here, so I might shut her down there and then go inside and feel bad because I'm not still working on the car. That's fine. I'm hungry. I'm going to go and play Sea Thieves with my buddy and stare at my ciggy butt lighters. How cool are they? Marlboro dude. Sick. Anyway, I'll catch you tomorrow. We'll start doing I'll continue on with the whip hair on the Fairlane. Can't. Well, I was planning to go inside, but I just went to wind the window up. Donk. What's going on in there? I don't know if you can see. I'll see if I can shine the light in there. Oop, we'll get the camera chimera there. Can you see that? Not really. Not fucking really. Okay. See if we can focus in on that. Alright, see that linkage there? That's for the door handle. And it's just randomly decided to catch on the window track. So now I've got to pull the door skin off this thing to fix that. 4 years. Never a problem with the window. Never catching anything. Now's a problem. Alright, we're back in the W shop. Working on the F100 because I want to do a bit of that too while I've got no time. So we're picking away at the windscreen panel. Slowly getting there. I've got all the spot welds done along that top edge, so I'm separating it here. I've got to pull those wings off, which I'm just doing now. I just got the driver's side one off, and look at the amount of fucking spot welds that were in that thing. And like, there, why? Just fucking why? And they were all legitimate spot welds. They were all holding it together. What the fuck, man? So I've got the same amount to do on this side. So then pull that part off. And then that whole side is free. which is good. And then I've just got whatever mess is hiding in here. I think there's a couple maybe in this mess there. And then hopefully this will come apart, and then I can do my repair to the bottom section, then I can repair it up to the top section. And I also got, where is it, over here, this wiper arm mount out because it's got no back on it. Wonder why the wipers work like shit. It's supposed to be spot welded along here, but it's all gone. So I got that out. That'll come out of the other plenum I've got. So we're getting there. The boys threw out my other pile of parts, which I sort of wanted to save up and, you know, present to the owner and be like, well, congratulations, this is the shit I cut out. But she got into the big F100 garage in the sky. Yeah. So this is my new pile of parts so far. Anywho, I broke all my spot weld drilling bits, so I had to go out. They don't do the bit kit anymore. Like this one had multiple spare parts in it. That kit's discontinued. So I've grabbed two different ones. This is a Toledo one, and you can see the ramp on it is a little shallower, so I mightn't break. That got hot and then started sparking, so I'll just put that one down for a little bit, and then I've got this little cheapie. It's exactly the same as the one that was in the kit, but I haven't broken this one yet, so that's alright. And it come with a spare bit, which I've already lost. How did I lose that one? It was in... I put it in there. Oh well. Can't be too far, it's got to be here somewhere. Anyway, we'll keep fucking gaining. Rightio, we got her apart. Fuck, she took some doing, I tell ya. Spot welds fucking everywhere. Spot welds along the top, and then there was also spot welds along the face here. But I can't. But now with the bits, we can see what needs to be repaired. Pardon me. So obviously that needs doing, and then there, and some more there, and a little bit more there, and then same again on this side. All that, I'm gonna rebuild that, but I can cut that out of the original, the other cow, and the whole bottom basically. So yeah, finally got it apart. Holy, what a fucking bag of dicks that sucked. I've still got the leftover wing pieces to take off on either side, because I only need this panel. This section's still in the cab, so I've got to take it off from all of those spot welds there. But I don't know if I'll get to it today. We'll see. See how motivated I am. I've been drilling a lot of spot welds and I kind of don't want to drill anymore. But maybe I just will keep going. We'll see. What's going on? Alright, back in the workshop again. She's a bit late and I've been doing a bit. But there's been a bit going on today, so I haven't filmed a great deal of it. As fucking usual, shouldn't be surprised really. Not on the F100, we're on the Fairlane. Finally. Again. We are doing tail lights. So, that is what's left of my now modified tail light bezel. I've already done one set. You can see where that turned off there. That originally used to sit like that. Oop, turn you around there so you're not looking at the roof. So they used to sit there like that. And the big problem with this is these tail light bulb mounts poke out into the boot cavity, and then shit slides around in your boot, knocks the tail light bulbs out, smashes the back of the housings off. So the ones in the Fairlane are made out of like 3 different sets now. They've now failed, so I thought, fuck this, we're going away from the entire bulb setup altogether, and I've folded up some channel trays. Okay, so left hand, right hand, this is the right hand, so that goes in there like that. We're going to glue them on the back and sandwich them. The lens obviously sits down in here, and I'm going to go full LED. So I've got a LED light panels that I'm going to glue into here. So reverse brake, and then indicator brake. Glue them in there, and then that'll just all be bolted together as one, like that. Nice and pretty. Still needs a little bit of clean up. Doing an amount of gal because we've got a lot of leftover gal from these trailers we've been doing, so it's free, so I'm just using it. they're going to end up getting blasted and painted anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's scale covered. So I just welded them up, folded them up in the brake press. I had to weld the ends on because I couldn't do the return, the double return on this with this in the way pretty much, so I just cut them off and then just zapped a return end on them. That notch is there to get around this corner in the housing because it's tight. So now, yep, made the buckets, the light bucket, so that's good. But obviously I've made them considerably narrower than the plastic. See? So it obviously fits like that. And then these are the bolt holes that bolt the whole light structure into the boot of the car. So I've now got to build brackets off the back of that to go to studs like that to bolt the lights into the back of the car. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now that I've got time and nobody else is here, so I don't look like a fucking idiot filming myself, but that's fine. So we're going to do some measuring, probably. That's a weird signal for measuring. Okay. And we're going to fold something up. I don't really have a idea on what I'm doing yet. But I know I need something. I'm thinking of folding another box basically to run the length of that. And then instead of running these studs, I might go nutserts into it, and then I'll put, I've been using them all over the Daihatsus, integral washer bolts. So if I fold up another channel, just a double return, just butt, and then just spot weld that onto there, the correct height that I want. And then when I get home, I'll then mark the holes where they need to go. I could mark them off of this, but off of that, sorry. Don't know, I might need a bit of fudge. The tail lights in the back of it are currently a bit droopy. That's just the way they are because they're fucking old and the plastic's all warped. So I might be able to, you know, squeak the fucking corners up. And then I'll just mark it, spot it, drill it, nutsert it, and then bolt them in. So this has been a long time coming. I've had these housings cut apart for probably 6 months, and I just haven't had time to do them. So today I was waiting on word on a ram from a supplier. And I thought, fuck it, I'll just do some of my own stuff while I'm waiting on an answer. Actually, I'll go show you the ram. It's pretty fucked, though. It's a warranty claim, and they wanted me to just reseal it. Alright, here's our ram. It's out of a 100-ton press. The complaint was the lip seal around the shaft was leaking oil under pressure. So drove all the way out and was attempting to replace the seal, and I couldn't get the ram barrel apart, so I had to drag it all the way back to the workshop. Soon worked out why we couldn't get it apart. There's all the rust in there, and I don't know if you can see it, there's pitting all up the bore. This is all rust in here too, and then look at the rust on that. That's the end plate. Wonder why it wore out, eh? So that's the seal that's damaged, but they also sent me the wrong seal. Something wrong, it's too narrow. But because of all the rust there, probably going to replace the entire ram. So that was a fun 6-hour return trip yesterday. That's why I'm not doing anything today in the workshop. Anywho, let's get back to doing a bit of drawing and measuring and stuff. Yep. Alright, time to brake press these things. So I got a little brake press because it's a press and it breaks the material by folding stuff. So they're a pair of tub repair sides for a 60 model F100 for one of the fellas that works for us. Knock them up there a little bit. So now I've got to adjust these. So I want it to be 75 and 48 by 48. So let's adjust this. So it's at 20. XP is the backstop. So I'm going to adjust that to 47 because this is bendy. The backstop's 1mm out at the moment. come back. So that'll be 48mm from the centre of that V to that there. Now that is our bend angle. I'll have to adjust that too. So this is a little tricky. It's a bit of guesstimate, so I'm gonna go 120. You can hear it adjusting. So what that does is that moves a block in the ram that physically stops the blade coming down. That's how you set your bend angle. So we hit the down pedal, comes down. You can hear it overload, and you see that gap there. That's going to be probably just shallow of 90. So I might go 119. We'll give it a bend and see what it'll do. Something like that. All right, we'll put our sheet in there. It stops it a little high. It's going to be a pain. Where are we? It's going to be there. So we're 47, 19, hit the down pedal. Wait for it to pressure relieve. That's it there. And we're nowhere near 90. Well, yeah. Stay there. Okay, so hit the red button again back in the programming side. We'll go 118. Whoop, not that. 118 point enter. Readjust it. Now comes the tricky part, because I've already bent it once, so now I've got to like get the V. Actually, fuck that, I'm going to bend the other side. And that side stops a little high, so I'm going to do a little bit of guesswork there. It's going to be about there. Do it again. Are we at 90? We're over bent. Okay. So 118 is too tight, so we go 118.5. Actually, overbent's probably good, because then that'll give me a bit of room to actually weld. So fuck it, we'll just overbend them more. So I'll get these folded up. We'll end up back in the shed, the room, on the other side of the gillo there. Alright, yeah, we've got one welded on. You think, yeah, it's good, you know. Yep, it's welded on there. It'd be great if I didn't fuck up my measurement. Look at that. Look at that. Fucking nowhere near it. It's supposed to be on that height there. I'm like way too tall. I know what I did. I measured the overall height of that housing sitting on the back of the tail light and forgot to take into the fact that I've got 15mm extra meat in there. So sick. I get to cut that one back off after it's fully fucking welded it on it. Golly, fucking. Yep, on one of them fucking days. And I overhung it on this end because the bolts for this one's going to be pretty close to the edge, and I need a bit of meat for the nutsert, so I'll probably end up slash cutting that later. It doesn't really need to be that long. I just went, fuck it, I'll make it flush to the edge, and then the bolt on this end's like fucking back here, so whatever. But, well, that would have been nice if I fucking measured it right, but now I'll cut that off, and then I'll cut this one down, even though it's already made. And we'll go again. I'll cut 15mm off it then. What an idiot. Okay, that's a bit fucking better. Look at that. Alright, we'll fucking stick this left the housing on. Oh, baby. Oh, Jesus, look at that. Tell you what, I'm good when I'm good and shit when I'm shit. Now I've got to cut that big whore down, weld it onto that, and then fucking go home. And, yeah, finish the rest of this up back home, because it sort of needs to be fitted on the car, but I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. Nice little fucking housing, recess for the LED panel boards. I'll still have to jam a fucking hole there or somewhere there for all the wiring. It's going to be so much better. I wanted to do this for AGZ, but time. So I cut that down. Turned out to be 20mm because of, you know, material growth with bend. You know, I've got 1.2 there, then 15 there, 1.2 there, 2-ish mil all up, because that part ended up being 16 instead of 10 or 15. Yeah, so mil extra there, couple mil there, so I ended up having to take 20 off it, and that's been on the money. But yeah, I'll do the final fit up in the car, and then I'll bring them back here and blast all the shit off them. I've still got to drill the holes, attach the outer, up there, the outer onto it. And then what holds it all together is actually the bolts that holds the lens on, which is exactly how I've done them previously. Because my back housings were so badly damaged, I've done pretty much what I've done here, but then I cut the back housing off another set and left the flange on it. So I could actually, like the back housing had the flange on it, so I could just bolt it all together through the holes for the lenses, and then I glued them all up. But the housing I've got are now cracking and whatever with UV damage. So another set of fucking tail lights. And hopefully these will be the last ones I put in this fucking car. So there we go. The other ones aren't too bad. I can glue them back together, but they're just starting to do weird shit. And I slammed the boot on one of them, and it like twisted the boot, which kicked it over, and then it clipped the corner here, and it busted this whole fucking side out of it. So just, you know, silly stuff. Anyway, I'm going to cut this down. We'll catch you tomorrow. Working on the fucking fair diddle. Alright. Back in the shed. You can hear something running in the background. That's Sarge, because I haven't started it in quite a few months. So it's smoking and carrying on, because it's been sitting in here with a flat tyre, and last time I tried to start it wouldn't start, and then turns out when I charged the batteries under the seat, I charged the battery off the starter motor, and when I've done that I knocked the fuel cut wire off it, so that's probably why it didn't start for all these months. But it's running now and it's out of the shed because I need more room. So, we're back on the tail lights. We've got a bit of a fucking mess going on here because I haven't had much time to do anything. So, LED time. Now, if you're going to do it, by far the cheapest and easiest way of doing it is to just go and get some trailer tail lights. Because if you're going to wire them up yourself, because I was going to do it, you're going to build your own board and everything, you need a voltage reducing circuit in there. So you get your brake light and your headlight, and the resistors and that for that are not exactly cheap. So it was just easier to get. I got 6 of these off eBay for fuck all, and then you just cut the housing off them. And then I was originally going to pull that whole board out and then glue the board in there, but it's got studs and that, so I'm just going to drill the holes, bolt them into the housing. The divider between the lights. So obviously I've got that, the divider between the lenses is like bang on the money, so the LEDs are going to be in the middle of the actual lens. These are coloured LEDs on this as well, and there's also a diffuser panel that normally goes in here. I've got that out at the moment just so I can work out where the bulb holes are. So I've cut the housings off of them, tested them, they operate. I'm going to do another set. I did buy 6 of them, but then for another just straight brake, I just bought an individual straight brake light. I thought they were a bit bigger than this, so it's not really what I wanted. It's a bit small, so I'm trying to come up with what I'm going to do there. Whether I just balance it in the centre there, and then like that, because I should have enough light to light the whole thing, if you know what I mean, like coming over from this panel and that panel to fill in the blanks. Or do I just mount it like that across the gap? Maybe once it's got the diffuser there. I don't know, I was still thinking about that one. Or I could just put another one of the tail lights in the center, because that's perfect spacing, but then one side of this doesn't have the voltage reducing relay, and it's also yellow, not red. So yeah, I'm thinking at the moment I might just go down to Supercheap and just get a solid, just straight brake light, maybe, and then just put it in the center. I'm pondering. But first things first, I'm gonna cut another 2 of these down. I'm just using the bench grinder, just hacking the plastic off it basically, just jam it in there, and then cut it down to that second rib. That takes the whole housing off. It still leaves me a bit of strengthening rib on the edge there, so the panel's not going to break. I'll bolt it in there. I'll do another 2 of them. I might bust open one of these things to see what it's like on the inside. Actually, I could probably test the wiring to see what it does, because I think it's like a third brake light or something they sold it as. Third brake light or fog light or something like that, but it's got 3 wires, so I should have trail brake and brake. And if that's the case, then I'll cut this apart, mount that there, and then my other brakes lights, I'll just cut that fucking board in half and then just run the brake light side in there. You know what I mean? Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to test what that does first before we get too carried away. But we're getting there. I probably should clean a bit of shit off this bench because I have just shit everywhere. They really need to go into my fucking Daihatsu collection instead of sitting here collecting dust. Fuck, we've got some shit in this fucking shed. That gearbox I'm not even using anymore. Yeah. Shit everywhere. I've still got to get on to fucking building those 2 Daihatsu motors as well. I haven't had much time to do any of that. Still got the crank and the cam sitting there. And then the pistons there for the other motor. You know, I've got to pull Dad's engine apart, the 2.5. I've got to build it too. I've got to get a kit. Probably out of Indonesia because not a lot of people do 2.5 stuff. Heaps of people do 2.8 stuff, but it is. I'd have to bore the block to 2.8 sleeves, and I don't want to do that. Anyway, I'm going to move some shit around here because it's fucking shit everywhere, and see if we can get a bit more usable space so I can start busting this. Like, I don't need that battery charger, so I can start playing with this stuff. Because I've just marked my separation lines on the lens. Fuck that off. Get rid of that knife. So that's going to go like that, basically. So just drill me fucking holes, bolt that in, blah blah blah, and away we go. Yeah, something like that. I didn't think these were coloured LEDs, but they are. So hopefully the coloured LEDs don't give you too many issues with the fact that the reverse light's supposed to be clear. Could be an issue. I might be hacking apart some boards. Actually, I could probably use them as the reverse light, really. If that's the way it goes. I've got the coloured LEDs there, then I've just got brake, and then I could just bridge the gap with a brake light, maybe. Because I'm sure amber will cut out the yellow colour better. I don't know. I've got to clean the bench first. Alright, we're doing a bit of fucking troubleshooting here. So, cut apart the fucking... Oh, come here. Cut apart this thing. Okay. It looks fine. Let's see if we can do this one hand, which I definitely won't be able to. So if I tuck that under there, and then touch this on here, it's fucking red without the lens on the cunt. So that can only be brake. Oh, and if I touch yellow, it fucking flashes. So I don't know, yeah, it strobes. So, yeah, whatever. I don't know, they were like fucking $4. So I tried to scratch the yellow coating off the end of the LC or LEDs here. Or yeah, well, it says LED, but it's actually an SMD because it's surface mounted diode. And it killed that whole line of light. So that's junk. But I did verify, where is it, that I can cut the board down so it is just the brake light circuit without damaging anything. So I can still use that. So yeah. Now just to work out what I'm going to use for, I guess I'll use that as a reverse light. And then I've indicator brake there. And then I've got that only lights up red. But I still need another brake light because that's not going to be enough to span 3 panels. So I've got 3 sets, so I've got 6 of these. Do I open up another one of these? Because I tried the amber in the red and it just makes it look like you got a blown bulb. I also tried it behind the reverse light and it still makes it look yellow. Do I try... do I just cut the panels down and then just put like reverse, brake light, maybe? Might go for a drive to Super Cheap or Autobarn, have a bit of a bow tape what they got, see if they've got a similar thing like that, because that's about the biggest I can fit into the housing. So if they've got a similar size thing like that that's just a straight brake light, if they do, then I'm all over it, and then I'll just use that panel. I'll cut down another one and just use that panel as the reverse light. These things can just go in the box as a failed attempt at something. I've still got one that's brand new. I've also got I want to do the number plate lights fucked on the Fairlane, so I'm thinking about getting the LED number plate lights, and the LED panel comes out of them, and then I'll fit them to my reverse light or number plate light hood. So time to go for a drive, I think, with one of these Jim Bobs. Do a bit of sizing, because I can make it work, but if I can get one that's just a straight brake light, that'd be fucking so much easier. And then I can just like put it in the middle there. Still going to be the same layout, so I'll still have indicator brake there, then reverse light there, like that, and then just have one big brick brake light there. Yeah, seeing as for some reason all these, I didn't think these were coloured. I thought they were just going to be white, and then the lenses was going to do the colouring. Turns out no, so that sort of fucked up my plans a little bit. That's why I bought so many, because I was literally just going to mount 3 in there, but then the indicators are fucking amber, and they didn't offer one that was like a brake reverse. They just had brake in these cheapies. They just had brake indicator. So I'm gonna go for a drive. I'll see what I can fucking find. Right, we're back from the shop, and I didn't find anything that really worked. I did try something else. I grabbed one of these LED panels because it's indicator brake. So the panels, I cut it apart. Fucking $50 lot I just hacked apart. And I can't use it, the panel's too wide. So, and that was about all I could find in Bathurst. So what we're doing, fucking pardon me. What we're doing is this. So that's us mocked up. So I'm going to run the indicator on the reverse side, but then to make the normal indicator darker, I've glued the original amber housing to that, just to darken the orange up. And then when this is all powered up, this is only slightly off white once it goes through the diffuser and everything. So that basically is the colour of a halogen bulb, so whatever. I would have liked it to be really bright white. I did think about hacking open a spotlight, but trying to cut into one of those aluminium housings to be a fucking cunt. And I've only got one square one. I thought I had heaps of square ones around here somewhere. But yeah, that's alright. So we'll go with that for now. And if it bugs me too much, I don't know, I'll open it up and then I'll build just an LED reverse light. But they're bolted in. I've got to go through, drill through the back so I can actually bolt the center one in, and the middle bolts there and there, and then the center one in as well. And then I've got to daisy chain the wiring together, and we should be good. I think with the diffuser in it, you're not going to notice the LEDs, and then that should, like you can see, I didn't pull the diffuser out, it fell out. I've bridged the gap there for that, so that should illuminate both them sides. This whole housing is going to end up red because there's actually a divider there and a divider there. You can see the holes in the diffuser. So that whole area is going to end up red. It will be brighter in the 3 segments, but it should be okay. I don't really, these are pretty chintzy. I'm not a big fan of it. The wiring's pretty shit, so I'm not going to bother using them, and they're not taillight brake light anyway, so there's no point. I did try to just cut a whole taillight housing down to fit it in there, but they're too tall. They poke up out of the housing too far and into the diffuser, so that's why I just 406 cut the lens down, 406 it down to the panel and around the case again. And then yeah, so brake, and then that's reverse light. So I'll keep fiddling with this. I'll bang some holes through the back of it. I've got to go and get the other housing, do the same to it, cut more of the tail lights apart. I've still got a box of fucking new ones there. I've got to grind open and then grind that one, finish grinding that one open, cut the board down to get rid of the indicator segment, and get them all done wide, and we'll start working out how we're going to mount them into the vehicle. I've still got to drill the holes in them as well to mount them to the housings as well, so I've still got to do that. But I think it's going to work. It's not exactly how I fucking thought it was going to go, but so be it. You know, it's adapt and overcome, they say. But yeah, I'm pretty pissed off that this didn't work out. Just fucking, I'd have to remake the entire housing to just fit that whole board in there basically, and then the spacing's not right anyway. Well, the spacing is pretty close. And these are coloured fucking LEDs as well. But then they're $50 each, so that's $100 for LED, or $58 each, so that's $120 per light basically to wire that up. But then they just don't fucking, they're too big. They don't fit. They don't fit in the housing. So be it. So I've got one light cut apart and the other light still in the box. I could return it, but I'll just keep it on the shelf. Whatever. I'm sure I'll use it on something along the lines. Probably not. That's the way she goes. Right, I'm gonna keep cracking on here. Okay, here's the test. Indicator, and then there's a brake. And then it doesn't really show up real good on the fucking camera, but the one on the right is supposed to be reverse. Maybe it's still too yellow. Yeah, it's too yellow. Fucking hell. Can't. Yeah, not real happy with it. The orange in that looks good though. And then that's all illuminated, so that's alright. I think that's okay. But yeah, that's still pretty yellow, eh? No, I don't think it's going to do it. I'll have to come up with another idea. Well, that didn't fucking work because I'm an idiot and didn't think. Maybe I'll just go inside and stop doing shit today because nothing's fucking working out. I forgot that the brake light side of the circle, I put it together and wired it and everything. The brake light side LEDs are red. It was a waste of my fucking time. Woosah, woosah. For fuck's sake. I'll come up with something else now. Alright, Sunday. I didn't end up coming back out to the shed and working on anything because I was fucking furious. But I've ordered more parts and they're coming for the reverse lights. So, I've glued the housing, this housing, it's done. Glued it together. The clearance holes are for the bolts to hold the taillight panel in. The taillight panels in. I'm still going with the same layout. We're going to run indicator brake, that big brake in the centre, and then a brake light there, and then I've got an LED, just white LED panel coming for the reverse lights. So I've now got to do all of that work to that one, and then cut the other $50 light in half to get the brake light panel out of. But it's all good. We're getting there. It's going pretty good. Still got all the housings are all cleaned up, so they're ready to go. And yeah, and then I should be able to get, once I work out how much of this overhang I need, I should be able to get a grinder in there to just notch that, or maybe I'll just be lazy and leave it because you'll never fucking see it again anyway. But looks like I'm meaning business now. Looks like a tail light to me. So we'll let that one set off out in the sun. Let Sarge hang on to it for me, and we'll play with a new one. Right, I've been changing my mind a fair bit, but we've got something that's working. Alright, so I've ordered another pair of these, so I'm going to do that. So basically that's brake, and I've just daisy chained the wire. So then I'll have brake light, brake light, brake light, brake light, and then I've got the reverse panel that I've ordered to go in there. That's pretty cool. So now we're going to bolt them in there, and then instead of running wires through the housing and then having a daisy chain it here, why not do it in the housing? So I'm going to daisy chain the brake light positive and negatives together, and then the reverse light will just have a wire by itself to run out. So I'll end up with 5 wires over here, and I'll share the ground for the reverse light as well. So yeah, so we're going to do that now. I'll have to cut the wiring off the back of that and off the back of that, and then yeah, chain them all together. It should be good. Should be good. Okay, so here's my new Hot Devil cordless soldering iron. I've got my wires cut to the right length, and what I'm going to do now is called tinning. I'm going to put put a double solder onto the end of the wires, basically, just so it'll bond to the points, the solder points easier without melting the entire board. It's pretty common practice in electronics building, computers and stuff like that. This thing only runs when there's a little sensor there. It only runs when your finger's on the sensor, so I've got to fucking monkey grip this thing, keep it running. Pretty handy though, because me electrical bag's at the fucking workshop. There's one tinned. Come here, you little bastard. Yeah, my new neighbours. Been going on all fucking day, moving in. Come here. My solder buddy's also in my electrical bag, which happens to be at the workshop, so I've got to do this like a fucking special ed student. Good. Okay, we're all tinned up. That's those wires. I've still got to do these ones, but I've got to open them up. Maybe over here so you can see what we're doing. That's sort of working. Yep. Okay, and now we just pot them together. Then I'm planning to run them down in this track here, and I'll put some dobs of Sikaflex on it to keep it in line. Little wires, big fingers, and I probably should have done this before I glued the housings on, but oh well, too fucking bad. We're here now. And that's it, you just sweat them together. And that's why you tin them, because if you're trying to just do it with bare wire, what you're trying to pot on, you've now got to get it all hot enough, get the wire hot enough to put solder on it, but when the solder's on there, the solder melts quicker. And then you're only bonding solder to solder, you're not bonding solder to wire and then solder to solder, melting fucking everything. My brother actually taught me this. He done computer science in high school. We fixed one of the old Xbox's Red Ring of Deaths way back in the day. Soldering parts out of one board onto another. So yeah, now that's going to go down there like that, nice and neat. Bam. And now I'm going to join the last brake light to the top side of these. So I don't want, because I've already got it joined down here to daisy chain this panel together. I don't want to be putting too much wire strain on that. So these ones will run to the top. And then yeah, I'll just pipe a bit of Sika Boy over there just to keep the wiring down out of the way so it doesn't shake loose. One thing I've also got to do is I've got to put a LED load resistor in for the blinkers, so I'm gonna mount it in the housing. This basically just wastes heat off, and then it's a heat sink pretty much. So I'm gonna mount that in the housing, pop rivets that down, and then I'm gonna connect the wiring for that directly to the ground, and then also just straight to the indicator wiring here. That way I don't have this floating around in the boot. But that'll come in a minute. And then I can only do this tail light because I'm waiting on another 2 lights so I can do the driver's side. But I might as well get one done, eh? I was nearly going to leave it and just not do it at all until everything turned up. But I thought, fuck it, I've got to do something. The wedding's coming up very quickly and I can't just sit on my ass and do fucking nothing. So. Oh, that was perfect. Textbook, one would say. Look at that. Jeez, I tell you what, I'm fucking good. Oh, baby, say less. Say less. I'm really liking that cordless soldering iron, I can tell you. And I'm going to need a screwdriver just to poke it down past this housing. There we go. That's that. Okay, now you can have a look. There we go, daisy chain together. So we've only got power and ground feeds for all of that whole panel. Obviously we've still got the reverse light to do, but that's coming. I could pull, I've got some 4-inch spotties in the bar of the Patrol. I could pull them out and cut them apart, but I've got LED reverse light panels coming anyway, so I'm not fussed. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe some Sicker Boy up in here and here to hold the wiring down. I'm going to fill these holes up here where the original wiring come through, just stop some shit getting in the housings. And that's about it. That's my fucking tail light. Oh, check that out. Got another workshop store. That was on sale for like 20 bucks at Super Cheap Auto. Couldn't help myself, you know, I'm only human. And then with the diffuser and everything in, I just put that fucking lens in crooked. They're a bit tight. There we go. With the diffuser and everything in, you don't even know they're LED. I'll wheel the battery over a bit closer and we'll do a test run. You can see what they look like actually properly done now with the, so all the LED brake light panels are the same. I was going to use the panel out of, you know, this thing, the one I cut up there the other day, but because it was sitting up so high, it was like brighter in the center, and I just wanted to match and I wanted it to work. So it was another 14 bucks for another pair, and I only need a pair to do another, like to convert one into a brake light, basically the center one. And then I've still got these two, so yeah, another pair and they'll be done, and instead of reverse lights, and they'll be done. And then I've got to paint these whole housings white night aluminium, because that's what I've got in the back of the Fairlane now, which is pretty close to the factory Fairlane colour. Oh, I've even got some. Huh. Not that one. That one. Yep. Okay, first official actually done test run. So we'll have indicator, yellow wires indicator. Ooh, nice and bright, nice and orange. Green is running light or headlight. Oh, look at that, nice and lit up the whole way along. And then red is brake light. Oh, fuck yeah, that is nice and even. Exactly what I wanted. It's lighting up the edges there because, like I said there before, there is a divider that goes in between there, but I've left them out while I'm playing with them. It clips into the diffuser, so I've left them out while I'm fucking around with it. Also, the lens is sitting up higher because I've got bolts bolting the two together, letting the sealer cure to bond the two together. So the bleed through will get better when it's actually finished, but I'm quite happy with that. So what's the blink look like flashing? It's probably a bit quick. How's that? That's way better. I'm so happy with that. That's way better. Well, I don't know what I was going on about yesterday. Maybe I was a bit stressed out, everything happening all at once and nothing fucking working out. So sometimes you just got to take a step back and have a think and play a bit of cyberpunk and get drunk. So that's what I did. And ordered parts. Yeah. No, I'm really happy with that. That's good. So that's finished up now. I was going to use these lenses, but there's bolts stuck in them. They're rusted off in there, and I just can't get them out. So I'll use the lenses out of the boot of the Fairlane. So I've got to disassemble the whole back of the Fairlane now to do that. I've got to do number plate light too. Anyway, I'll decide on what I want to do now. But I'm super happy with how that turned out. And I've obviously still got a nut set at the back panel, bolting it in. So good. Right, we've got the tail lights out. You can see why I've had to fucking replace them, because like I just pulled that out and that broke off, so that's supposed to go there, or it was probably already broken. This bolt wasn't even attached to it anymore, so that's good. Actually see where I've done basically the same thing I've already done, or done to my other tail lights, is sectioned them and then cut the whole back housing out and then sandwiched them together. But instead of using this again, I've just made a whole new housing. And so that's been cracked in half. That's all 6 flex to fill it up, and hit that part with a pressure washer and it broke. so it's needed fucking doing for a while. These ones are so much fucking better. I did just notice something. I had a bit of a brain fart. I wanted to route them to the inside, but I'll extend them first and then route them to this side, and that way they reverse like Warren's all on the same spot, but whatever. The Warren wasn't long enough to test that stuff, but found a bit of not goodness. This is interesting. It wasn't like this last time I had the tail lights out. So, and then this is the hole into the boot. That's not ideal. So now I've got a decision. Do I cut? It looks like there's filler in there too. I'll pull the rear bar and then repair that, or do I just say fuck it and run it? And obviously, see it's been sprayed before too. All the overspray in here. Yeah, but that's alarming. It's not like I don't have steel. Let's just tackle the tail lights first, and then we'll deal with this mess potentially. Yeah. How am I gonna? Where's that? How's that bolting? Number plate. Right, no, it's just 2 screws. Okay. Well, if I do have another one of them housings somewhere, someone's fucked. And that hole's always been in it since I've owned it, so I'm not too fussed about that. You can just buy whole trunk repairs for the top lips. Top lip of the trunk isn't very good in this, but it's still watertight, so that's about it. Let's see if we can position this tail light in the right spot to mark it out. Yeah, what's going on there? Yeah, oh, Jesus. I've been marking there too. I need to stop looking at stuff and finding more wrong stuff. Alright. Well, that's where it's going to live. Minor issue. I've only got one M6 nutset and it's too late. Super cheap auto shut, can't get more, so that'll do it for this for now. I've got all of next week off, so I'll be working on this thing throughout the week, so I'll have to get back to this tomorrow when I go and get nutserts. Oh, what a pain. I think I just ate my own hair. Yep, that's exactly what I did. Anywho, we'll catch yous on the next one. Still working on the Fairlane. Bridal.